Thank you, Oliver, for your kind introduction. My name is John Dye, and I'm a Senior Director of Marketing for the North American market, and I am pleased to be with my doTERRA family in Europe today. I'm excited to share a few thoughts, as you can see, about secrets to succeeding at social media. I've got three major topics that I'd like to talk about today. One is specifically passion and purpose. I believe the foundation for everything we talk today and your doTERRA business is passion and purpose. There are a few key things that we need to discuss regarding that, and I'd like to share a video that I've created some time ago about this topic. Also, we'll talk about the 4 R's of social media, and then finally some tools that are available. Some are free of charge, some are available for a nominal charge to you to utilize in building your doTERRA business. Now, before we begin, I would love to discuss a few things about social media in general. As you can see here, you need to continue to do what has made you successful. Oftentimes you will notice that many people think that social media is what I call a silver bullet. It's definitely not a silver bullet. It doesn't replace any of your current activities that you're doing that are making you successful. Again, social media can augment what you are currently doing, but it cannot replace those efforts. So always remember that. Social media can augment, but not replace what you're doing. What has driven you to success up to this point is something that you must continue. Social media can help with that, but it cannot replace it. Now, I'd like to share with you a video that I did in the year 2014, specifically on passion and purpose. Let's watch that now.
I'm going to start with a little story of 2 stonemasons. Okay, this was a long time ago. A gentleman went up to stonemason number 1, tapped him on the shoulder, and he said, "How's your job? What do you think about your job?" He said, "I'm building a wall." He said, "It's monotonous. The work breaks my back every day. These stones are so heavy. They're so hard to put into place. I don't enjoy the people that I work with. They all have issues with attitude. They don't enjoy what they're doing either. And you know what? My father did this before me, and my son will probably do this after me, because this is what we do. We just add stones to walls." The same gentleman walked about 30 feet over, tapped stonemason number 2 on the shoulder and said, "What do you do for a living? How do you enjoy it?" He said, "I love my job. I'm a stonemason. I'm building a cathedral." He said, "Yes, sometimes the work is monotonous." He said, "It's very hard." He said, "It's backbreaking work. It's not easy. My father did it before me, but I am building a cathedral. I'm building it so someday I can worship in some place that I want to worship. I can worship my God, and my family can as well. My sons, my daughters, my grandchildren. I want them to be able to go to a place where they can worship their God and feel His love for them." Okay, so as you look at these two, what was the difference? They both did the same type of work, right? They were both stonemasons. It was in the passion. It was in the viewpoint that these two had, what they were trying to do and why they were doing that. One had vision. One had a dream. The other, it was just a means to an end. That was something that they needed to do to get money, and it was an occupation. The other person, it was their passion. It was what they wanted to do. And they did it not only for themselves, but for others as well.
So passion and purpose, 2 key essential things for anything you're about to do with your doTERRA business, and that includes social media. Next, I'd like to talk about a little bit about branding, and specifically what's in a name or a mark. I'll bring up this illustration here so that you can see some interesting symbols that you are probably familiar with. These are very well known worldwide, and some of these you don't even have to see the name of the brand or the company itself to know who that company represents, what that mark represents. You probably see Apple, Airbnb, Google Maps, Instagram, Target, Amazon, and other key companies here. With branding, though, specifically when we talk about branding, it's what you're known for, what you represent. And just like those companies on the previous slide, you yourself have a personal brand. You exude that not only in person when someone meets you, they might notice your smile or your quick wit. Also online, you have characteristics that represent who you are and what you represent overall. Now that's important to remember specifically because you do represent that online. For example, if we were to bring up this individual, you probably noticed right away, this is Mother Teresa. Well, what adjectives would you use to describe her? Okay, many of us don't know her in person, but just through the reports we've heard, the secondhand reports, online news, etc., we know that she's charitable. She is full of love. She exudes love. She's full of service, and she's extremely selfless. When we learn about her and the things that she's done, all of these represent Mother Teresa. Another key individual that you might be familiar with is this individual. This is Abraham Lincoln. What adjectives would you use to describe Abraham Lincoln? Many people would say he is honest. He has a lot of integrity. He's determined. He's known for his determination and his compassion. He's very compassionate. Again, these are key pillars in his persona or his personal brand. Now, again, there wasn't internet when Abraham Lincoln was around, but these were things that people who knew him personally would say about him and adjectives that they would utilize to describe him. So the question is, what words would you want others to use when they describe you in your obituary or epitaph? So when you pass away, what are the things you want to be known for? What are the 4 words that you would want people to share about you? That's a key question to remember. Often, as I talk to different individuals in doTERRA, many of our wellness advocates, I will ask them this question. And here's an example of one person that I spoke with and how she described herself. This is, again, a wellness advocate here in the United States, but she said she wants to be known for her transparency, her faith, her health, being health-centric, health-centered, and mompreneurship. So basically, she can still be a mom, but be an entrepreneur or a solopreneur at the same time. Another individual I spoke with said she wanted to be known for not only her faith, but also her authenticity, being mindful and her mindfulness, as well as her focus on wellness, health and wellness. So that's key. This is something that it's important to remember when you look at somebody's online presence. For example, Instagram. You should be able to see those things that that individual wants to become, the adjectives that create the 4 pillars of the 4 foundations of their personal brand. That should be clearly seen in their posts. So you can see, obviously, she's very interested in doTERRA and health and wellness, being a mother, and doing all those other key things that she had mentioned in those 4 pillars. Now, when I look at myself, I want to be known as being a good husband, a good father. I want to be known for my beliefs and my spirituality, and also that health and wellness is key and integral to who I am and what I believe. So those are key things. And again, when you look online, hopefully you see that, right? You would see that in the images and the words that are being utilized in our online presence. And I think it's important to say that you should be multifaceted. If somebody only has doTERRA or essential oils in all that they write about and all that they talk about, if it's a personal profile, that seems too one-sided or too I would say, monochromatic. That individual isn't multifaceted. You need multiple facets to be interesting so that all of those things will resonate with people and they can be attracted to you for those multiple traits. So now I've got a question for each of you. What 4 adjectives or nouns best describe you as an individual? If you were to write down what best described you as an individual, what would those 4 adjectives be? Take a moment to think through that. You don't have to do it right now, but it's good to always think about that, to consider what 4 things do I want to be known for, because those should form the foundational pillars for your online presence. Okay, moving on now. I want to talk about the 4 R's of online social media, utilizing the 4 R's you see here on your screen. The first is to be real. You want to make sure that you're real, that you're transparent. As we talked about that wellness advocate before, she had a desire to be transparent. People can pick up online if you are not being real, if you are being an imposter, or if you're saying certain things but you live in a totally different way. That obviously can be sniffed out. People can feel that, and that is not good to create, your online persona or your brand, utilizing something that isn't real. So remember, online, always to be your true self, your authentic self. Number 2, be relevant. As we talk about relevancy, I think it's important that we understand, what are the current events that are happening in the world, and we're able to address those. Whether they're around health and wellness or around other current events, it's important for us to be relevant, because when we're relevant, we resonate with our target audience, those people that we want to talk to. If we're not relevant, then what we have to say just doesn't come off to people. They just don't want to listen. So it's important, again, to be both real and relevant. Also, it's important that we're responsive. It's interesting, we call this social media. Web 1.0 was when people could publish something online and other people could consume it. Web 2.0, which is the phase we're at right now, is when there can be a dialogue between 2 or multiple parties. If you look at social media, there's ways to comment. And so it's important that you, as the creator of content, that you're very responsive, that you talk to people and that they can feel that you really care about them. And if you comment on their post and you respond to that post, then they know that you're reading and that you care about the content you're creating. It's just not a distribution method for you, but it's actually a relationship, which is the 4th piece. If you're real, if you're relevant, if you're responsive, then you create, I think, the most key and critical R of these 4, which is a relationship. We all want to create relationships with others. And as we do this, that allows us to create that relationship where they know that we are being, again, real. We're being relevant. We're being responsive. We care about the audience. We care about the individuals we're interacting with. And when we do that, people know that. And they do like when we create a relationship with them, because it is authentic. Now I'd like to take a few minutes and discuss some tools that are available. I will add a caveat that I'm not sure how many of these are available in Europe or to what extent they're available, but these are some tools we utilize in North America, which we found to be successful and really help wellness advocates. And I know that many of these are available in your market, although maybe not all of them are at this time. The first one is doTERRA Social. You can currently get there by going to social.doterra.com. But you'll notice here that we have multiple templates that can be utilized. It has the oils, it has the promotions that are being utilized. You'll notice all of the European languages are represented here. This is the most recent promotion for March of 2022. at the timing of when I'm recording this video. But you'll notice that you can create templates, and this allows you to publish to social media quite easily. One of our goals at doTERRA Corporate is to create a tool set that allows you to spend less time doing administration of the business, of your doTERRA business, and more time ministering or helping others with their health and their wellness. And when you can sit knee to knee with people and not administer to them, meaning you don't have to worry about publishing to social media all the time and doing all this, you can actually spend time one-on-one with people. That's the key piece that we want to create for you. So we're providing all of this content. It also has a calendaring feature, and it also allows you to see the analytics. Again, so this is doTERRA Social. It's a tool that's available to you in Europe. Social.doterra.com is one way to get to that tool. There is a nominal cost annually, and it's very inexpensive. And the value that you get for this tool is so much more than the cost. I truly can't stand behind this tool enough. The other tool that I wanted to talk about, the second tool, is the Digital Marketing Kit. So you can get to this website by going to doterra.com/DMK, DMK, which is Digital Marketing Kit, doterra.com/DMK. In the Digital Marketing Kit, what you have available are multiple images and videos and other things that are available all along the spectrum of product and training. This is a free tool available to any wellness advocate, so definitely avail yourself of this as well. The final tool I wanted to mention really quick was doTERRA Training. If you go to training.doterra.com, you can enroll in some of the free training, and there are some paid modules as well. Again, very inexpensive, the ones that are paid, and there are multiple that are free. Some help you with scaling your business and creating a business system that will be successful for you. So again, training.doterra.com. All of those are very important. So in closing, I just want to say there's so much that can be done from this perspective. Obviously, you have to start with passion and purpose. Secondly, let's throw in some of those 4 R's and that personal branding tool piece that we talked about. Having those 4 pillars that we talked about, I think, are key to make sure that you're successful. Know who you are and share that online, and that will be helpful. And finally, number 3 is the tool sets that I talked about earlier. So again, those are all things that are available for you, many of them free of charge. It just takes a little bit of time to go through them, to focus on them, and to glean the value that those tools have for you. So again, from Utah, I wish to say hello to all of my friends in Europe, my doTERRA family in Europe, and I would also like to say wishing you all the best. We hope that you're doing well, that things are well for you. We're always here to answer any questions. We support our European family and our market in any way possible. We truly want to see your success. When you're successful, we're successful. And our main goal is to create the content and the tools that help you work your business much easier. Again, if you can spend more time one-on-one with people, working with them individually, and helping inspire the doTERRA lifestyle, we know we've been successful. So I will pass it back now, but thank you again for this opportunity, and have a good day.